JC Production.
All right, guys, as many of us have already heard, the next round of stimulus package will include stimulus checks. So we already heard that, we've already confirmed it, and so we're glad about that. However, there is a lot that they are not saying when it comes to the next round of stimulus that we're going to be discussing today. Also, we're going to talk about the current state of the extra $600 a week that individuals have been receiving by way of their unemployment and the CARES Act. We're going to give you guys a heads up that many of you did not know about when it comes to it may be coming to an end sooner than you think. And we're going to talk about stateside citywide benefits that are available to you right now. As you guys well know, we're doing them all in alphabetical order. We started with Alabama. Now we're all the way to the states that start with the new, like the New Jerseys and the New Yorks and the New Mexicos. We're going to get off into all those as well as other things here. And if you're interested in continuing to learn more about the stimulus package, which is fact but not fiction, as well as how to make passive income, remote control money, where you come to the right place. First thing that you need to do on behalf of yourself is subscribe to the channel, click that bell notification so you get the latest and greatest information. I got your back. I'm doing all the homework for you so you can sit back and take care of you and your loved ones. Let's get started. Yes, they've already confirmed it yesterday that the next round of stimulus payments are going to be going out to individuals. So we're happy about that. But let's talk about what they're not talking about. First thing that they're not telling you is how much it's going to be. They don't know what the amount is going to be. They're not sharing that with the public because they don't know themselves quite yet. We've been hearing everything from that it may be monthly to the $1,200 one-time payment to $2,000 payment, and now we're hearing that it may be less than even $1,200. They don't know what numbers that they want to calculate yet because they don't know what size the budget's going to be. Whether it's going to be $1 trillion budget, which the Republicans wants, or like the HEROES Act up to $3 trillion. And the president said he'd like to have it right in the middle of a $2 trillion budget. So that's one of the things that they aren't talking about. So while we're celebrating that it's going to be a check, you don't know what you're going to get yet. The next thing is that they're not talking about is they had a luncheon yesterday. And during that luncheon, it proved one thing among the Republicans. They are in a state of confusion. They don't know what their bill is going to look like, what the package is. Instead of taking the time out, which they had when they had time off to get together for those few weeks and put together a package like the House of Representatives did and be able to present it to us, the people, they didn't. And now they are in a state of confusion, and many senators that are Republicans want certain things, other ones don't. They don't know what they want to put into the bill, what they want to do for corporations in the bill. They are confused. And do realize that the 31st is next Friday. And so we're talking about having all this done with a state of confusion going on among the Republicans in the Senate, and then having to present this to the Democrats in the Senate, hoping that it passes, and then if it passes, then get it over to the House of Representatives to be signed by the president, and you've got to next Friday to do all that. Let's think about that. Yeah, doesn't sound like it's going to get done in time. Hopefully it does, but it doesn't sound good. Another thing that they're not talking about is this. As I just mentioned, they might not have it done in July. This session in which the Senate and the House are together, in which they'll be able to vote on it and get it to the president's desk. This session ends right around August 7th. That means that from August 7th all the way until September 8th, they're not going to be back together again. So if it's not done by August 7th and it's on the president's desk to be signed into law, what's going to happen is, like I mentioned before, and I hate to say this, they'll come back from their session. They'll still be in a state of confusion if they don't have some type of bill to present to the House to give to the president. What'll happen is you might see the first round of stimulus checks going out the first weeks of October. I'm just putting it out there for facts because, like we always like to say, we like to give facts. We don't like to give fiction or fluff. We want to give you guys the truth on this particular channel. We don't want to be the first ones. We want to be the most informed ones when it comes to getting you information. The next thing that they are not talking about is this. Who is going to receive the payments? Remember they had put the $40,000 income cap out there last week. That little rumor said that if you made more than $40,000, you might not get a check. And then all of a sudden they put out there, hey, it might be in tiers. It may be if you make $40,000 or less, you might get this amount. And if you make more, you might get less amount. They don't know who's going to receive it. Why? Because they don't have a bill put in place. Why? Because they're in a state of confusion right now. They should have had all this done. And the sad part is this, America. All they had to do was take the HEROES Act, which the House presented in May, as well as the $100 billion package in which that was rental assistance that the House once again presented in June. Take all that, put a ribbon around it, and say it was ours. We put it together. The Democrats don't care who get the credit as long as they get the votes in November, right? At the end of the day, the Senate could have just taken all that and put it together in one bundle and presented to us Go ahead, put the president's payroll tax in there if he wanted in there. Add that to the bundle, and then go ahead and present it to us so the president can sign it off. That's all they had to do. They didn't have to create anything new. Now they're sitting around scratching their heads wondering what's going on. Well, this is sad. This is a real sad situation, and hopefully and prayerfully it works itself out sooner than later. Let's get started with talking about the unemployment. The $600 extra that individuals have been receiving. Most of us have been calculating the $600 benefits to the 31st of July, which is actually true. However, the last days in which it's actually technically calculated is this week. Right around the 25th, 26th is the last day in which the calculations of that extra $600 is going to be added to your state's unemployment. Andre, how does that work? I'm going to tell you guys how it works. All unemployment agencies work in a 7-day block. So if it's not 7 days, the system doesn't calculate it. So if you lost a job on a Wednesday, it'll bounce all the way until the next week and then start a calculation of 7 days from that week after. It all works in a 7-day block. They don't work in 5 days. They don't work in 4-day blocks. It's a 7-day block. If it doesn't fit in that window, that particular week is not counted. You with me so far? Okay. So the last 7-day block in which you receiving the extra $600 is technically this week, because next Friday is only a 5-day calculated block. The 31st is on a Friday. So therefore, according to the unemployment offices and how they calculate, this is the final week that they're going to calculate or add in that extra $600. Starting next week, you're going to notice that when it's time to fill out your voucher, that extra $600 won't be a part of that. You'll get extra $600 from this week added to your account, but you will not be able next week on the 31st to put in or expect to receive that extra $600 on the 7th of next month or the 5th of next month or whatever that first week of next month is. You won't receive that. You're just going to receive your extra. You're just going to receive your regular unemployment. So those of you that are thinking that you'll be able to calculate that extra $600 all the way up until the 31st, and the week after that, you're going to be receiving an extra $600 based on the 31st, you won't. Realize this is the last 7-day window in which you will be receiving unemployment benefits with that extra $600 added into that. So make sure that you add your budget up accordingly. So therefore, you won't be surprised once this happens, because next week is the last week that you're going to see that extra $600. After that, it's done. It's a wrap. So this is the last week. Remember that, people. Now, speaking of last thing we're going to talk about are stateside benefits. And we have already started putting those benefits in the descriptions. We started with Alabama. We're all the way down to past the M's. Now we're in the ends. If you want your state benefits as well as the phone numbers and your senator's email to email your senators and tell them to get off their tails and get to work getting this bill passed within the next few days, you want to go down into the description right now. Your information is right there. You don't have to ask me about Illinois. You don't have to ask me about Mississippi. You don't have to ask me about Alabama. It's already in the description waiting for you right now. But the state that we're headed to right now is New Hampshire. Now remember, the phone number right here, this number right here, you can call nationwide and get as much information as possible, and they'll be able to help you out. But if you're looking for specific stateside benefits that are in your area, the phone number for New Hampshire is this: 603-435-2500 for the state of New Hampshire. And your senators that you're going to email, like I said, it's just a little box. Once you click on the email, it's a little box. You put in what you want to say to your senator, you press send, it's going to go straight to the senator's email. So go ahead and do that, guys, because if they don't hear from you, then they'll just do anything on your behalf that you may not ask for. And your senators for the state of New Hampshire are Margaret Hashins and Janan Shaheen. Those are your senators for the state of New Hampshire. Let's go to the next state. Next state that we're headed to right now is New Jersey. Let's head to New Jersey. Like I said, in any of these states, you can call 211 and get the state benefits. But the direct line number for the state of New Jersey is this: 877-672-1148 for the state of New Jersey. And your senators are Democratic Senator Cory Booker, as well as Democratic Senator Robert Menendez for the state of New Jersey. Next state we're headed to is New Mexico. Let's talk about what's going on in New Mexico. Once again, you can dial 211, and for the hearing impaired, 711 can call that number. But the direct line number for the state of New Mexico is 575-575-524-7561. That is for the state of New Mexico. And your senators that I know that you're going to be emailing: Martin Heinrich and Democrat Tom Udall. And so those are the individuals that are your senators in the state of New Mexico. Last state that we're headed to right now is New York, the Big Apple. We're going to head there right now. And the number for individuals to call in New York, especially in the New York City area, if you're in the area of New York City especially, the phone number that you want to call right now, outside of 211, that's statewide, so you guys can call 211 statewide and get those benefits, as well as 711 for the hearing impaired. But the state that you want to call, the state number that you want to call for New York is, and I've got a couple of numbers for you guys to call in the state of New York. So the first number is 844-245-9122. That's the first number in the state of New York. The second number for the state of New York is 833-499-0343. And your state senators in New York are that you're going to email. I know you guys are going to email Kristen Gillibrand and Democrat Charles Schumer. These are your benefits, your senators, and phone numbers for the state of New York. Once again, the other states are already in the description in alphabetical order. Go to those states, and we're going to continue on with more states tomorrow video. Stimulus package information, as well as how to make remote control money, which is passive income. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, click that bell notification so you can get the latest and greatest information. And I will be speaking to you again about these topics and more mañana.